welcome back to the show that so far doesn't have a name. The last time, which was a couple of minutes ago for us, we watched together In Your House episode 1, and I think we had such a fun time doing it. We decided we would do a very brief one, which would be WWE's Velocity. Now, Dylan,
Yes.
did you watch Velocity at the time that it was on?
No, I don't think it was on the TV that I could watch. We didn't have Sky over here. The wrestling was on Sky, which is a channel you had to pay for it. But on free TV, you could watch Sunday Night Heat. So that's how I started watching wrestling. I started watching Sunday Night Heat, and at some point they took Sunday Night Heat off TV, and they didn't replace it with like Velocity or anything like this. So after Sunday Night Heat stopped being on TV, I kind of stopped watching wrestling because there was no good way for me to watch it for free. So I have never seen an episode of Velocity.
So Velocity, for those who were not watching wrestling in the early 2000s, WWE and before it WCW would have these random shows that would come on like Saturday night or Sunday. And they were usually less than an hour long, if you took commercials out. And it was where they would predominantly feature like lower card wrestlers that weren't getting on SmackDown or Raw or Nitro. And you got to see really weird, unique gimmicks that were, that never made proper airtime, but are very memorable for me. And I think one of the biggest takeaways from that was that as time progressed, the shows came about more of hyping up like Raw. So this still exists. Like WWE Superstars is still a thing that exists. And you will see like random like guys who aren't getting booked on the main shows having matches against each other. But most of the show is just like, hey, last week on Raw, Roman Reigns ate a sandwich. And then they show like the same segment like 4 or 5 times of Roman Reigns eating a sandwich.
Wait. What kind of sandwich?
He strikes me as a classic like ham on rye.
That's a bit, it's a bit bland.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, WB has not loaded a lot of episodes of Velocity on the network. So the very first episode that we're able to view comes from the May 25th, 2002 edition of Velocity. And this is the match card. We have Hardcore Bob Holly versus Val Venus, who's a conspiracy theorist and a huge pothead now.
Wrong with that.
No. We also have Billy Kidman versus Tajiri in cruiserweight action, which Velocity was kind of quintessential with the cruiserweight division. And our main event is a women's title match, Trish Stratus versus Stacy Keibler, the former girlfriend of George Clooney, Stacy Keibler.
And David Flair.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's good company to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to, do you want to do?
Yeah.
Show?
Yes. Let me know when you're ready to go. We'll do a countdown of 3, 2, 1, and we'll hit play.
Are we skipping the intro or are we going to watch it? Should we watch the intro?
We should absolutely watch the intro.
Okay. Were you ready to go? Should we go? Do you want me to count down?
Yeah, you go ahead and do the countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So we have the WWE Globe logo.
Mm-hmm. Do you see the logo in there too?
I did see the Tough Enough logo.
Oh, Tough Enough.
All of those kids that won that show, they went on to have such long careers. I think the only one that did was John Morrison.
He did great for himself, didn't he?
He did.
Look at this.
So here's the Velocity opening credit. We see The Rock. He will never be on the show. Hulk Hogan will never be on the show. Chris Benoit will never be on the show. Hurricane might be, though.
Vince McMahon.
Never be on the show.
Mark Henry. Now, there's a man I want to see in my Velocity.
We saw Stacy Keibler in lingerie. She'll be on the show. We know for a fact.
Maybe not in lingerie, though.
Maybe not in lingerie. Boy, they're starting off with fucking pyro for Velocity. WB had a budget back then. They didn't care what they spent. And they weren't even competing with anyone at this point because WCW already got bought out.
Right, so they're like, we got all this fireworks left over.
All this money.
Yeah, we'll do something with it. We could pay our wrestlers more
No.
They spent on fireworks.
Do you remember? I mean, look at crowds. Do you remember crowds?
No.
Audiences.
What are these people doing here?
So these people would
Sick
pay money.
masks.
Oh, I miss these the like video match card of them doing like their little poses and stuff.
Right, the moving ones.
Yeah, those are the best.
Instead of just a static image where they kind of move a little bit and then they freeze. I love all that shit. Oh, Tajiri.
Oh, here's Tajiri.
Tajiri's one of my favorites. I used to love his trunks as well. You were talking about how everybody kind of worries to see him like wrestling trunks. Tajiri always had these cool ass fucking trousers, right?
Yeah. He when he was in ECW. Oh, we're getting a recap of.
Tits.
Here's Tori Wilson in bikini, and like Tajiri's like, no, you can't show off your body.
But I can show my body.
Oh, here goes Billy Kidman. Now, see, this is the WCW Billy Kidman theme, and that's the good one. So we're gonna see how far along Kidman is in his career here, based off of how smooth that shooting star press is.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, and I want to go ahead, and this is maybe spoilers, but Tajiri has a storyline going on, and Billy Kidman doesn't. So I feel like that's not gonna fare well for Kidman.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know.
So Billy Kidman was like one of the focal points in the latter years of WCW. He got over real big once he separated from the Flock, and it's just so weird that he went from like facing Hogan in main events to like doing the job for Tajiri.
You don't know he's gonna do the job for Tajiri, but also.
Now, do you think Tajiri's gonna use the green mist in this?
I hope so.
Me too. He had great mist.
Like, there's no harm in jobbing to Jerry because he rocks and is really good.
Yeah, did you ever watch the ECW matches he had against Super Crazy?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Beautiful stuff.
He's crazy. He's super crazy.
I mean, the facts are all there. You can't argue with it. Look at this.
No, remember when he formed like a weird team with Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
To Jerry?
No, Super Crazy.
That would be fucking great, wouldn't it?
It was real.
I don't remember that one.
It was oh my god, they had these weird promos where Hacksaw would go ho, and then Super Crazy would go see, and like they would just do it over and over, and I'm like, is that over? Do they think that's over?
I mean, it sounds like a great game. Like, look at this.
Yeah, the cruiserweights they wrestled. The cruiserweights wrestled.
Do you remember? Oh God, it feels like so long ago when we were watching Sid Vicious versus Kevin Nash. Not quite as interesting as this, I would dare say.
I mean, we're actually talking about Billy Kidman and Tajiri, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
For this.
I love Tajiri, so I'm like super involved with this match.
Oh yeah, like I said, I was a huge Billy Kidman fan. I was just so disappointed with what happened to him in WWE. Like they changed his look. He wasn't wearing the tank top and the jean shorts anymore, which I guess makes sense because at this point it's 2002 and that was a real grunge look. It just it made him stand out.
Grunge was kind of dead by that point.
Exactly.
Oh, no, that's a suplex.
Real crisp.
Beautiful suplex.
And you know what I like about this is that cruiserweight wrestling has always been associated with flopping around, and these guys have not been doing that. This has been a lot of chain wrestling.
Like, look at this, like, body slams and stuff like that. Like, that's not what people think of when they say cruiserweights. But look at these two guys. Like, they're doing these kind of, whoa, you messed that one up to Jerry. Like, they're not working like a big man style, but they're also not like luchadors flipping around all the time. Look at that.
Yeah, deep arm drag. Kidman going for standing Hurricane Rana there.
Beautiful.
Now, if this was a WWE match now, Billy Kidman's hitting a suicide dive immediately. But instead, he's going up to the top rope. Nope, not going to go to the top rope. Tajiri's walking away.
I feel like every company does a suicide dive.
Baseball slide. Not enough people do the baseball slide anymore. And I've seen why. I watched Pac do it, and he like turned his ankle really bad.
Do you mean
so
Pac?
I guess I can see why. Not X-Pac, but regular Pac.
Regular Pac, okay.
Look at that. Still, that was a move on the outside. It was a baseball slide. This is the first springboard move, and it's a springboard leg job.
Right.
Like I said, cruiserweight's got such a bad rap.
I think so too. I mean, like, the guys know how to work, which is something you don't see with people these days. They don't they do all the flippy shit, but they cut out all the important stuff. Like,
I remember like Alex Shelley did like an interview talking about the X Division and how they were referred to as video game wrestlers
Yeah.
because they were told like they only, oh Jesus Christ, Billy landed on those stairs.
Yeah, I know, right? Holy crap.
Jesus Christ, that looked ugly. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked like he cleared it, but like, oh, if that could have gone bad so quickly.
Yeah. No, did Jerry sing
Who we got now? This is Michael Cole pre. Oh, I froze.
Oh.
I'm buffering. So I'm stuck at 6 minutes 29 seconds.
Let me.
We're back. All right, I'll
Six,
pause it. I'm at 6:32.
I'm at 6:44. Tajiri's pointing at the audience.
I'm at 6:32. Tajiri is standing on Kidman's back and choking him on the bottom rope.
Okay, you press play till you get to 6:44.
Okay, we'll do.
And then, because Tajiri's just pointing at some dude right now.
So we got to recap. I'm seeing that fucking that landed on the stairs. He took that really well. You could tell he didn't really hit it, but
tasty.
All right, so yeah, he's pointing at the crowd now.
Okay,
we're back.
I'm going. He's like, yeah, I'm the best.
Around, nothing's gonna ever keep me down.
That's what Billy Kidman was thinking. He's like, nothing can keep me down. I gotta get back up.
Yeah, no, I'm down right now though. Currently, I'm down, but I need to not keep down.
No, you can't keep me down. Like I'm down at the moment, but I will get it back up. So.
Do you remember that unofficial rule where you can't powerbomb Billy Kidman because he would reverse into like a face breaker?
Yes. Like every time I tried, he would just always go into the face buster.
Yeah, I remember, and then like one time it didn't work, and I was like, oh fuck, they killed it. I remember because it was like there was this thing about we called them Joe-isms, where Samoa Joe would have like you can't do this to Samoa Joe because it won't work. Yeah. Like you can't charge Samoa Joe in the corner because he'll reverse into a Uranagi. You can't jump off the top rope because Samoa Joe's just gonna turn and walk away while you hit the mat.
Yes.
Just Joe-isms. Love them.
That second one, God, I miss that. I wish there was, because there's so much like bullshit ass dumb stuff off the top rope.
Tajiri's gone to the kicks. Tajiri has gone to the kicks.
But they are like swift looking kicks. So you see the way he lays them in.
Yeah, and you know, Kidman selling it, like you can tell, like this is Tajiri's specialty is those kicks, and he's not wearing kick pads, by the way.
Yeah.
He's just hitting him with his shin.
Look at this! Look at this!
Putting him over. He's got his arm wrung.
Oh,
this is the bow and arrow. Is this I think it's a bow and arrow lock. Isn't that what it's called?
He's he fudged it a little bit.
Yeah. It's good job on the referee there. Going, well, Tajiri, your arms were technically down.
Jerry's not gonna take that.
So this is Michael Cole on commentary. So this is like Jerry Lawler and King are still doing commentary. Does Cole have a partner? I'm not really listening to commentary.
I have my commentary turned off, so I thankfully can't hear the beautiful tones of Michael Cole. But you know, it's probably Doc Hendricks. You are
missing Michael Cole talk about the hair versus hair match that Kurt Angle's going to have against Edge.
Am I? Because I've seen that match.
So crossbody.
I don't need Kurt Angle.
Oh, and Tajiri. Oh, that's a finish right there.
Kicked him pretty hard. Look how
happy he reversed. Two. He kicked out. Wow.
So happy when he kicked him. He's like, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, he's like, yes, this is what I'm in. This is what I'm into.
I nailed it. This is what I am known for, kicking people. Come on, man. Come on, Tajiri, kick him. He was really pissed. He was really angry.
Do you remember when he came out of retirement to be in 205 Live and he misted Brian Kendrick and then got hurt? Yeah. And that was it.
Well, I was so involved in that 205 Live thing because for that they brought Tajiri back and they brought Brian Kendrick back, and as you well know, two of my favorites. So I was like, I have to watch this show.
You know what I enjoyed about it is Brian Kendrick sold that like he got murdered, like the screaming and clutching his face. More people need to do that when you get misted.
Oh, he's so good. Oh, armbreaker.
Oh, he's got that's a kind of a armbar.
This has been an interesting match, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is not, and like I said, that was the joy of these shows like Velocity and Sunday Night Heat and WCW Worldwide. Is like you get to see these dudes who don't ever really get a moment to shine, and they get to wrestle.
Right, like they're just going to time on the episode, like just work away, take some time, But it all makes sense.
And they're getting a healthy amount of time too.
Yeah.
This is a 44-minute show, and they're tarantula. Oh, he got out of it.
It's not often you see that. Oh, back to the arm.
Yeah, look at that. It's scientific. Tajiri working that arm.
Well, this is insane. Oh, did you see that?
Yes. In and out springboard moonsault. Or out and in, technically.
That was so fluid. That was beautiful. If he had hit it, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't get everything. My goodness, Billy Kidman, come on.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. Like,
arm.
these guys are doing such a great job.
What?
Like I said, we talked all the way through Diesel and Psycho Sid, not talking about the match whatsoever. And like we're both like super enthralled with Kidman versus Tajiri in 2002.
I love how look at that, some fucking rinky-dink episode of Velocity, and we were like, whoa, dude, look at this fucking match, it's so good.
Oh man, Kidman and Tajiri are really going to work. Kidman's selling the arm.
But like,
oh,
look at that. Do you see the way he's spiking?
DDT.
Holy, this is way better than the shit we just watched. And what's funny was
on the Kidman kicked out again. Holy shit.
The episode we did, in your house, like it wasn't a bad show by any means, but I'm like,
no, it was fine. It was perfectly fine.
But like this one match so far is like way more interesting than look at this. Oh, powerbomb. There we go.
Powerbomb.
That's how you do it.
I remember when Billy Kidman got a second finish in WCW. Look, and my favorite thing is the Japanese photographers. They're at ringside because they're going to be like the photos from this match are going in a magazine in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy Kidman got the BK bomb, which was like this weird reverse pedigree. Jesus Christ, man!
Did you see that kick?
I did, and I'm surprised he kicked out of that.
It was like it was so like.
And the commentator's losing his shit too. And Michael Cole's just like, how does he keep kicking out?
I mean, it's crazy, and this is just some fucking Velocity match, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, this is springboard. Oh, Jesus Christ! Great reversal.
That was beautiful. This is 5 stars. This is the greatest match of 2002.
The greatest match of 2002 is Kidman versus Tajiri on Velocity.
This is unbelievable.
Springboard. Oh, got him in the tarantula now. Just got him in a different way.
How is this the first match? This should be the main event of Velocity, goddammit.
I think the main event's going to be Stacy Keibler versus Trish Stratus. I feel like it's all downhill from here, to be frank. Here comes Tori Wilson, who I think at the time is married to Billy Kidman in real life.
That's wild. Oh.
Schoolboy. No.
Okay.
His ex-girlfriend, Tori Wilson.
Jerry's pissed off now.
Oh, she grabbed the ankle.
Oh.
Facebuster.
There we
go.
Roll
him over. 1, 2, 3. Kidman got the win.
Now, what did you say earlier about the Jerry having an angle and Billy Kidman not having an angle? Therefore,
listen, this Velocity has exceeded all expectations already. This is a 44-minute show, and about 15 minutes was dedicated to Billy Kidman versus Tajiri.
And it was a wonderful thing, wasn't it?
Oh, it was wonderful. This is amazing. This absolutely improved my day.
Oh, seriously, I didn't expect this. Look at Tori Wilson, like I fucked him up.
Billy Kidman's still selling the arm even though he won. God damn.
Make sure whenever Tori Wilson's walking away, get a really good picture of her ass.
Yeah, we really need to get up in there. Get up in
the camera, okay?
All right, so here's that advertisement of Trish Stratus versus Stacy Keibler. Now, Stacy Keibler, perfectly acceptable in the role that she's in, except not the role when they have to put her in the ring.
Well, they just said it was a Brown Panties match.
Got Kurt Angle.
Didn't they just say it was a Brown Panties match?
No, is it a Brown Panties match for the? Oh, that's a weird choice for main event of Velocity.
Hey, it's a good use of Stacy Keibler though. Listen.
Man, boy, Kurt Angle. I never realized how bald Kurt Angle was at the time. Like you could tell. Like that's what surprised me when Baron Corbin shaved his head. Like I hate when people like shave their head, make it an angle. Like get paid for it.
That's a very Jim Cornette way to look at it. That's what he would have said too. He'd be like, if you got hair, we can work that into a thing. Like we can make money off that. Like don't.
Yeah, make your money.
Yeah.
That could have been a pay-per-view like main event.
Look at this. Look at this wonderful hair. Is that his real hair?
Yeah, I mean he You know, like that's what kind of a professional he is. So this is, like I said, this was the staple of like these shows, is that we're recapping something that happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, this is what Sunday Night Heat was an awful lot. It was like this is how I found out about the WWE. I would watch Sunday Night Heat, and it'd be like a 45-minute show. You'd have 30 minutes of replays, and then a Scotty Duhati match. What more could you ask for? That's all I ever wanted.
You remember when not SmackDown, but Sunday Night Heat first debuted? It was like on MTV, which is wild. And like Shane McMahon was one of the commentators.
Yes.
Oh, look at that drawing of Edge. What a great art.
Kurt Angle doesn't think so. He's like, how dare you draw pictures of me? I was in the Olympics.
So Lori is friends with this one guy. They used to work together, and he was like talking. She didn't know he was into wrestling, but he was like on Facebook or something, talking about like, if I was ever stranded on an island with Kurt Angle and one of us had to turn into a cannibal, I could live off the neck meat for at least 2 weeks.
I mean, that's fair. He does have a extremely large, thick neck, I believe they'd say.
Oh, fuck, it's Maven.
Oh, wow. So clearly Angle's having a thing with Edge. So why don't we bring up Maven, everybody's favorite wrestler?
Well, no, the feud ended. So I've always wrestling has always made me laugh, because like, as someone who does shave their head, it's always weird that like wrestlers are like, no, I can't be bald. That's terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
Right, while there are already bald wrestlers.
Yeah, like I think that's why they have Maven out there, because Maven's just like, hey man, I'm also bald. I also have the thickest eyebrows this side of Tennessee.
Right, but fucking Kurt Angle has fought Steve Austin a shit ton of times. Like, he's seen that bald fucking head a ton of times, and he's like, I can't be bald like Steve Austin, the most successful pro wrestler of all time.
Not at all. Or Hogan, who has that fucking power donut.
Yeah, I think that's the way my hair is starting to go these days. It's very depressing, where you see your hair receding. You're like, well, I'll just rock it like Hulk Hogan by wearing a bandana at all times, and nobody I'm like 3/4 bald, you know.
Put a little SmackDown on it, his shirt says.
Look,
Aldi. The person who had the B dropped the ball. Camera cut to, it was supposed to say Baldy, but it was Aldi, which is a grocery store chain here.
What I liked about Aldi was that it had like 3 exclamation marks as well. So somebody like 4 of them or 5 of them were holding the letters, and then they were like, shit, there's like 8 of us. All right, you guys hold some exclamation marks.
Yeah, it was a group of 8.
Yeah.
But Baldy only has 5 letters in it. What are we going to do with the other 3?
Draw a picture of Edge.
Yes.
Draw a picture of Bret Hart.
Draw a picture of Bret Hart. Who's at this point old and bitter and has post-concussion syndrome.
But I don't blame him at all. I mean, you know, fair play to him. I'd be fucking bitter about that shit too.
See, now we gave 15 minutes to Tajiri and Kidman, and that's to make up for the fact that we're going to lose about 7 to 8 minutes on this replay of a segment. And like I said, that's what these shows were. I don't think WCW Worldwide was like that though. Well, but yeah, it did give us hole-in-one Barry Darsow.
A classic.
I love Barry Darsow was one of my favorite Renaissance men, because that man had like 8 gimmicks, and all of them were enjoyable for one reason or another. What's your favorite Barry Darsow gimmick? You have Repo Man, the Blacktop Bully, Crusher Khrushchev, Smash, Repo Man.
Repo Man again. I mean, my favorite always was Repo Man, because I just love the idea.
Repo Man.
I love the idea of him just like very obviously stealing things, because that's the kind of like stupid humor that really appeals to me. Like, it's so
mine
like,
is mine. What's yours is mine too.
It's so like he had the big chain with the hook on it, right?
He should have used that as a weapon, but he would have just murdered people. Oh, look, it's Edge. Look at those pants on Edge.
I told you
that. Tell it's 2002.
So that whole thing with Maven was what, a waste of time? Because here's Edge.
It was for Maven to take the hit. Oh, look, it's Christian. At last, you're on your own.
I used to love that.
That's the best. That's one of the best themes.
Yep.
Are we gonna do that episode of Wrestling Doesn't Make Sense where we talk about entrance music?
We're gonna do that soon. That's
I would love to be a part of that.
Another plug for the other podcast we do on this channel.
We have plugged 3 podcasts over the course of 2 episodes. I think we're doing a great job.
We do a lot of work. We're very busy people, and we're looking at what is this? Kurt Angle and Christian versus Maven and Edge.
Yeah. On this day.
Wait, are we watching this whole match? What the fuck, man?
No. It's just the highlights.
Here's the thing.
Like I said though, they did give us Kidman and Tajiri for 15 minutes, so I will excuse this.
But like I think you must be watching it with like a little bit of sound up. I have the sound completely turned off, so whenever Angle are just
they
like,
even hit him in the wiener.
oh my goodness. Like when they're cutting a promo on each other, I'm like, this is wasted on me because I have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
I wasn't listening. I mean, I have the volume turned down really low.
I just turned it off completely. I'm like, because I don't want to get picked up with the mic. So like, you know. But look at Christian. He's ready to go. He's ready to rumble against his old adversary, Edge.
I love Christian. He's one of my faves of all time.
Yes.
Loved him in WWE. Loved him in TNA.
Oh.
He had like 2 matches in Ring of Honor against like Christopher Daniels. Edge-o-matic. I love Edge and all of his dumbass finishers that never got over.
He has some really like questionable finishing moves.
There's Edge-o-matic. There's the Edgecution.
Execution.
And then it was
cool. Like the Edge-o-matic.
The submission thing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that submission thing. That was, I think, the Edgecution. Did he ever have a move called the Educator?
Probably. Well, he had one called the Edge-o-matic, so he probably did, right?
Yeah, he just hit it a couple of seconds ago in this little thing.
Nobody gives a shit.
No, not at all. But he got it. Like his finishing move, everyone remembers him for is the spear, which is like the most simple one.
I don't really like a spear. Like most people do a spear.
Crossbody. Oh, it was a drop. Damn, he got a lot of distance on that missile drop kick.
I think, if people are doing like a spear or like a super kick, they have to make their shit look way better than everybody else's because
everybody does spears and super kicks now.
Right. So like Edge's spear is okay, but like Rhino's spear like has got a lot of gut to it.
Well, it's the gore, so it's slightly different. See, there's a spear. That's an Edge finish today.
Right, but now he's still like dicking around, going after Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Mistake, buddy. Oh, Miavin's
here it is, the Unprettier. Christian hates that name though, which is such a bummer. Rolled him up.
I love the name. I love that name.
Yeah, he hates it. And that's why when he came back from TNA, they renamed it the Kill Switch.
Which is way worse.
It's so generic sounding, but the Unprettier, loved it. Tyler Breeze was using it for a while.
Yes.
And called it, and it was called the Unprettier with him, which makes sense for the gimmick. But I love that name, and I love that move.
I always love the name because that it's a perfect description of what it is.
Do you remember? Oh, it is a bra and panties match. Well, this is gonna get weird.
It's gonna get weird.
It's gonna get real weird. There you go. How do you like me now? It's Parkour Bob Holly.
Oh, I still like him.
Bob Holly's great.
Look at him. You want to punch?
Bob Holly has just such a look of disdain for the world around him, but I hear he's actually a very nice person in a weird sense. He beat the piss out of Rene Dupree though.
Oh, who hasn't beat the piss out of Rene Dupree?
He's actually quite successful in Japan. Rene Dupree. He's got covered in terrible tattoos.
Once he left WWE, he did really good in Japan. Can't blame him.
Man, 1-800 call AT&T or ATT. And Starburst. Isn't life juicy, Dylan?
Is it? That's not the way I would describe it. Like Castle DTX is amazing. Classic.
Oh, and here's Val Venus.
Smoking a joint the way to the ring.
Yeah, talking about aliens, the moon being hollow.
Well, how do we know it isn't?
Exactly. You've not been there. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I was there once, but I didn't think I'd drill into the middle of it.
No, I was too busy trying to lick the ground. Made of cheese, right? Provolone or mozzarella? That's the real question.
You want to hear a story? I don't know if I should.
By the way, that's a follow-up from the last episode where we talked about Sid oozing cheese.
We talked about cheese in that one. We did. All right. Do you want to
bringing up cheese again?
Do you want me? Should I tell a story during this entire match?
Yeah, I feel like this isn't going to be a good one. I mean, Bob Holly's great, and I'm sure Val Venus is serviceable, but I don't have high expectations after that 15-minute Kidman and Tajiri match.
I think you'll like this story. It's about the moon. So you talked about the moon earlier. It's a little bit of a tie-in, but I used to work in a bookshop, and a guy came in one time and he said, "Do you have any books on the moon?" And I was, doing my best to help this man out. So I'm like, "Oh, I don't think so, but let's have a look." So we went over to shelves where all the books were, and we had some science books. But I'm like, oh no, we don't really seem to have a whole lot of books about the moon. We've got some about the solar system, but nothing specifically about the moon, I'm afraid. And he went, huh, and I'm like, well, that's the end of this. And then he went, huh. It's just, doing a lot of reading on the internet. And I'm like, whatever you're about to say, buddy, don't.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I was like, do I want to hear this or not? Like, I don't know. So he's like, I just wanted to learn more about the moon because I was on the internet the other day and I was reading about the moon and about how the Nazis went to the moon in the 1940s and they built factories on the moon that would mine for hydrogen-3. So I was just wondering if you had a book that would kind of corroborate that. And I'm like,
yeah. Go a little bit more detail on that for me.
Right, like he just like it went from I want a book on the moon to I want a book that corroborates
about the Nazis who went to the moon.
Nazis went to the moon in the 40s while they were fighting a world war.
Nice.
They were like, fuck it, we're gonna go to space as well. And
oh man, Hardcore Holly just hit the Bailey to belly.
They had the resources to build factories on the moon. I'm like, come on, man. I can tell you right now with very little scientific knowledge that this is incorrect. So
this move always made no sense to me, by the way. The weird like kick between the legs onto the belly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of setup for that to just basically kick someone in the stomach. Also, so real quick, have you ever heard the story about Edge and Val Venus's failed tag team that they were going to put them in?
Oh, I think so. Do you want to go over it on the
well,
show?
So essentially, I mean, long story short, when they were both kind of still trying to figure out what they were going to do with them before they debuted, they were going to put them in a tag team, and the idea was they were going to have like the Midnight Express of like, beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane or Loverboy Dennis Condrey. They were going to be adorable Adam for Edge and sensual Sean for Val Venus, and I feel like we were deprived of sensual Sean.
Probably, well, yeah, we got deprived of that, so it went from sensual Sean to fucking porn star ass Val Venus. Like, look at my dick. Like, it's not as sensual as you think it is, dude. Do
you remember his like video promo that was just nothing but like trains going into tunnels and like hot dogs being like,
yeah,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I remember about that. No Mercy, the game on the N64, had like entrance videos for everybody.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were very short because the N64 was a cartridge, not a CD.
Dylan, you need to sign up for Tough Enough 3.
Oh my god, I could win that. I mean,
the website's blurred out, so it's gonna be impossible to find it.
I'll find it.
Do you even remember who won Tough Enough 3?
In 2002, that would have been Nidia, was it?
No, she was part of the season 1 where Maven won. It was her and Maven.
No. Wait, oh, you're right. Yeah, Maven won. Yeah, Maven and Nidia won the first one. So the second one was Jackie Gata and Shaniqua, I think.
Yes, because it was 2 women, and neither of them really panned out.
Two of them were good.
Remember Shaniqua? She was the Basham's manager.
Yeah.
The idea was she was a dominatrix.
You want to hear some fun times? Listen to Jim Cornette talking about.
Talk about the Bashams. Ugh.
No,
I've heard those stories.
Because.
Really?
Yeah, she was. Well, I can't remember what her name was before Shaniqua, but whatever her name was before that.
It is the what is it called? The
money shot.
The money shot. Ugh. Do you remember his like feud with Kaintai where like they were gonna cut his dick off, but like because he was such a master porn star, he had complete muscle control over his penis and was able to like shrivel it up inside of him like a turtle.
Listen, man, if you practice hard enough, you can do that. I mean, no, that's ridiculous. Anyway, Stacy versus Trish is gonna. Stacy, what the heck, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. This time he was back. He was undisputed champion for a hot minute.
And then they're like, "Fuck him, put him on block."
He won the tag titles with Edge.
Yes, he did. Oh, this is him fighting the Undertaker. Now
you don't know about fighting Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Look at Undertaker. He looks very, very happy.
He hates being an undead wizard. He really preferred being a biker. Like that was he liked that so much more than being The Undertaker.
But that's because he is like a fucking biker guy. Like that's exactly him. He didn't have to do anything. He just came out like the Undertaker. You know, that was right up his street. When they're
I
like,
will do a documentary wearing a Blue Lives Matter T-shirt.
well, didn't something come out where he like donated to Trump's fucking?
I will donate money to a failed Trump campaign.
Can we see Undertaker and Chris Jericho forming a team? The Trump.
I did. Yeah, so that would be, and like Jake Hager's with them still.
Yeah, because why the fuck did he donate to Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, he's a huge MAGA guy.
Oh my god, I don't like wrestling.
That's why I think that's why they're in the same little inner circle group, which I always find funny because like you have Proud and Powerful, who are like two very very proudful Puerto Ricans who people like Donald Trump hate. Oh man, he just so Hogan, by the way, since you don't have the sound on, he just quoted Kenny Rogers, the Gambler.
I mean that sounds part of the chorus. And he's the kind of guy who would definitely quote the Gambler. Look at him. Look at the state of this guy. This now you want to talk about your racism? Here we go. This is your guy right here.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you exactly who I don't like, brother.
You know who I don't like, brother?
The brothers.
Brother.
Not a big fan of the brothers, brother. You get what I'm saying, dude?
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, I love Hulk Hogan. I mean, I don't know if I do.
I have such conflicting feelings because I love Hollywood Hogan in the NWO days.
I love Hollywood
He was such a great heel, but like
yeah.
the fact that he's racist really diminishes that for me.
But it works as a heel.
Absolutely, it does. Is there how many great openly racist heels have there been in professional wrestling?
Well, we've got Hulk Hogan.
You got Hulk Hogan.
We talked about with Jerry Lawler. Is he racist?
Yep. I don't know, but Michael P.S. Hayes. I mean, they wore the Confederate flag.
Yeah, we talked about Michael Hayes, so that's 100%.
So did he just?
He's just walking around.
Yeah, I think it's just a promo, just like I lost to Undertaker, but I'm not dead yet.
We can see that Hulk Hogan. You're right.
They changed his music, by the way. Like his music's playing in the background. It is not the Jimi Hendrix song that he used. It's like some generic like butt rock.
No, but he didn't use the Jimi Hendrix one. He went back to Real American by this point, didn't he?
No, not quite yet. He was still coming out to the Jimi Hendrix song.
Voodoo Child?
Yeah.
Great song, man.
This generic rock music is so unfitting for Hogan.
But he's a generic white man.
No, that boy's not white. Look at him. That's Hogan tan.
He used to be white. Dude, have you ever heard the story?
Hold on. Somebody's coming out. It's Vince McMahon.
You're like, you're fired or hired. One of those things.
Speaking of people who donated to the Trump campaign.
Oh, God. Well, more than just donated to the Trump campaign. Am I right?
Well, his wife got put in, like, she was given a significant role in his administration.
And she earned it every step of the way.
Do you remember, don't we know someone who, like, helped with her campaign?
Oh.
Yeah.
I've said his name on the show.
Whoops.
I'm gonna bleep that out. Oops.
Yep, we're gonna bleep that bad boy out.
Well, I don't think that it's a big deal. I just, it's probably just best if we don't.
Yeah,
Oops, I'm sorry.
It's his job. It is what it is, right? We've all done stuff we may have wanted to do because of work.
Right, exactly. I thought that was kind of the situation. It's like, he's a smart dude, but sometimes you just have to. You have to do.
Like Kenny Rogers said, you gotta know when to hold him and know when to fold him.
Can we never quote Kenny Rogers again, please?
But she believes in me. That song's great because it's just about how much of a piece of shit he is.
Why do you know so many Kenny Rogers songs?
Dude, I'm from West Virginia. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers put out a Christmas album, and my parents listened to that from November the 29th through the end of December.
Is it good?
I'm biased because I heard it my entire childhood, so I can't tell you that with confidence that it's good or not. I mean, it's Dolly Parton. She's fucking great at everything.
Yes. Yeah, but Kenny Rogers, though.
Yeah. He had fried chicken chain.
Is he racist?
Oh, he's dead.
Well, you can be dead on a racist.
I think you can be too much when you're dead, bud.
Well, was he racist when he was alive?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I mean, you kind of want to assume that anybody in that particular genre is a little bit racist.
And
But then there's also Dolly Parton, who's fucking fantastic.
Dolly Parton's a wonderful person.
Absolutely.
She's just like, I don't really like her music at all, but like she seems like just such a cool person, you know, like spunky, like really.
Oh, yeah.
She has her own. She has enough wherewithal to figure out like her.
She has her own theme park.
Like,
Do you know about Dollywood?
Yeah.
I went there a lot as a kid.
You've been to Dollywood?
I've been to Dollywood. It's fucking fantastic.
There's
butterflies everywhere. Like, that's her motif.
This is way more interesting than Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon shouting at each other. Tell me more about Dollywood.
So Dollywood is based out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And she basically bought all this property there. And there's like so many. It used to be a amusement park called Silver Dollar City. And there's a lot of like music that plays and a lot of rides. There's like a section of it that's designed to look like the 1950s. And there is it's much more of a fun time than you would anticipate. But yeah, we went there all the time as a kid. You know who also had an amusement park for a brief period of time? Do you know who Conway Twitty is? Yes,
I fucking do.
He had an amusement park called Twitty City.
Jesus Christ. What? Why?
Hello, darling.
Why would anybody look at that guy and go, you know what? I enjoy his music, but what I really like
is hope you're doing well.
Is there like a Big Dipper at Dollywood?
What's a Big Dipper?
Oh, it's like a big roller coaster.
Yeah, no, there's like I think 3 or 4 just roller coasters. Nice. There's like a log flume. There's like one of those like rapid kind of like water rides. She has one of those like sheer drop towers.
Yeah.
Wow, Hogan just sold that fucking punch there.
Can I just hit him with a belt now? Can I just say, to go back to Velocity very briefly, if you look at the timestamp, we're 7 minutes left, and we have a main event, a championship main event to go.
The championship main event. It's a women's championship main event. What is this, AEW?
Yeah. Well, no. At least they booked something, you know. I heard. Can I just really briefly slag off all the wrestling, as I often do on all of my podcasts? But Tony Khan made the NWA women's title match on their show last week or whatever.
Yeah, it's the pre-show.
Yeah, but no, he said he said he wanted 2 women's matches on the show because it would be more representative. So let's have. I want more women's matches on the show, so I booked this one, which he's gonna use as like a way to make himself look good and like make himself look like he's caring about men and women. But really, first of all, it was a thrown together match that didn't make any sense, and both women that weren't contracted to your company, so you fucked up there. But second of all, like, it didn't have any build to it.
No. But if you listen to Cody Rhodes, though, not every match needs to have a build. Just all of his matches need to have a build.
Exactly what I was going to say. Cody Rhodes in defense of other people's matches.
Now, real quick, just as an update, it's 39 minutes in. This show is 44 minutes long. Up next is Trish Stratus versus Stacy Keibler.
It still hasn't happened yet.
Still has not happened yet.
Cody Rhodes.
Now we get the rewind of the week, so this is going to take even more time.
Oh my God, what's this bit? Snickers.
This is the rewind of the week.
Oh, she fell into a
thing. Dude, Batista just scoop slammed Trish Stratus.
Holy shit.
This is back when he's the Deacon Batista.
Deacon Batista?
Yeah. So this is a build-up to Velocity. Trish Stratus beats Stacy Keibler with some interference on SmackDown, and now they get their blow-off match on Velocity.
The Brown Panties match.
Real quick. The entrances haven't occurred yet. We're 40 minutes into a 44-minute show.
Yes. So this is the entrances now. If you want to sync yourself up, Stacy Keibler is walking out. She's looking sad.
This is gross because Stacy Keibler comes out and an advertisement for their album Forcible Entry comes up. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Stacy Keibler's out. Forcible Entry.
Stacy Keibler and the King's like backstage. Like, you only see like the top view of the King. You can see his arm moving a little bit. You're like, what are you up to?
No, he's not interested in her because she's above the age of 12.
You're really sticking with this one, aren't you?
I fucking hate Jerry Lawler.
Let What's wrong with
What's wrong with? No, we're not even gonna have that conversation. Hold up, just a quick time check. We're 40 minutes in. We're 40 minutes and 37 seconds in. Trish Stratus is now making her entrance.
So we're gonna be at 41 minutes in a 44-minute show.
Also, they changed her music too. She's not coming out to Lil Kim. It's just once again generic butt rock.
Well, butt rock.
That's why they don't. That's why they don't like license music anymore, because of they can't. They when they go and put this on the network, they have to change it. Like if you listen to an ECW show, the music's all weird.
Well, exactly, because ECW doesn't give a fuck, so they have to rechange all of that music.
MLW is the same way. So is this going to be so? Very famously in WCW, Daphne and Stacy Keibler had a wedding gown match, and it ended when Stacy Keibler just took off her own wedding dress to reveal her lingerie. I wonder if it's going to be the same way.
No, but Stacy wants the belt. Look, she's holding it. Oh, the match has started, by the way, so we're 40.
Is this gonna end in a DQ because it's about 42 minutes into a 44-minute show?
Well, how can you get disqualified in a bra and panties match?
No, apparently this bra and panties match is no DQ.
That was an alright like scoop slam by Stacy.
How's Trish Stratus gonna take those pants off is another question. I think that's a spoiler for this match. Plus, I don't necessarily remember a Stacy Keibler title reign.
No, she definitely no. That's not Stacy Keibler is not winning the belt in 3 minutes on Velocity.
What a title reign.
Fred.
We got 2 minutes left. It's 42 minutes into a 44-minute show. Up next, Confidential. That was hosted by Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah. Well, that's more interesting than this, apparently.
Here we go. She went for her
because
finish.
This is when Trish was really like making a name for herself and trying to, she's
trying to legitimize that division. Oh, here we go. Shirts off.
That, but like legitimize.
I like how she's covering herself up as if she's not been in her underwear on television before.
Like all the time.
Oh, and she just ripped off Stacy Keibler's because we have 2 minutes left. Business is picking
also,
up.
like we said earlier, Stacy Keibler is like is a lot easier to take off than Trish's like actual fucking
her tight pants.
Yeah. So,
she's going for it though. Oh, I thought she was gonna take off her bra, and I was like, what?
Why didn't she?
She's gonna try to take her pants off now.
Yep, but like, is she?
She's going for it.
I don't know what she's doing. Okay.
Here it is.
Oh, a little bit of.
Oh, whoever this commentator is, he just perved out real hard. All right. That was a 1 minute match.
Do you remember
2 minute match?
We got over Billy Kidman versus Jerry.
This, like I said, I had a feeling it was going to be downhill from here. Look at Stacy. She seems so befuddled by the fact she's in her underwear now. She's like, oh, damn it.
I thought this was going to be different, but it always ends with me in my underwear every single time.
Who would have thought? Now, I'm surprised that Trish doesn't just take off her own pants on her own. I mean, this is around that time period where that would have just happened.
People love that shit, but like we said, she's trying to like be a better person. She's doing her best.
Do you remember that the only way that Molly Holly and Trish Stratus could get on WrestleMania was Molly Holly had to pitch the idea of shaving her head, and they were like, "Oh yeah, a woman shaving her head, that'll sell."
Yep, I do remember that. What a treasure Molly Holly is. She's a fucking champion. Trying to get a women's match on WrestleMania. She would go
all right. Well, that was the first episode of Velocity. We started really great, and it was downhill from there.
I think
that Billy Kidman and Tajiri match got us. They got 15 minutes, which was like 7-8 times as long as that women's match was, and that was for a title.
Right. We were like legitimately like, whoa, dude, this has turned into a really good match.
We were legitimately enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, lovely. We forgot all about all the matches we forgot about in the other show, the first show we watched. So
we did talk. We did bring up the. We did bring up the conspiracy theory about the moon during the Val Venus Bob Holly match.
Yes.
Can I? Okay. Here's the thing. This is episode 2. Right after this one. This is June 1st, 2002. The preview for it is Reverend Devon and Deacon Batista deliver a sermon to the WWE Universe before taking on the Big Valboski. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, clashes with the Godfather, and Albert faces off against Hugh Morris. So the downhill slope continues, is what it sounds like.
It's not even so. At least we got a women's match in the first episode.
Yeah, we got to all 2 minutes of it, and how gratuitous, gross it was with the bra and panties match.
Listen, we got a women's match, so that's good, and we got to see Cece Keebler's ass, so that's good. So I don't see what the problem is. But in
No.
two, it's all Mark Henry, this, and other people. I'm like, I don't want to see these people. I want to see Cece Keebler's ass. Please, WWE, can you accommodate for me, the regular fan, who just simply, the regular wrestling fan wants to see Cece Keebler's ass. That's all we want.
So 2002, the internet was around. There were easier ways to see nude women. I'm just putting that out there.
I never understood this. Like, that really annoyed me when WWE were always putting on like bra and panties matches. And I knew in real life people who would get excited about this. I'm like, well, why? I don't watch wrestling to watch bra and panties matches because I have the internet. I can find nude pictures of anybody easily. I don't need to pay £40 to watch a WWE pay-per-view to see like softcore porn. This nonsense. Like,
yeah, absolute.
That's what, goddammit. But then, no, you're gay. I'm like, I don't think you understand what being gay entails.
Yeah.
It's a lot more in depth than just watching wrestling.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, this is what you think. This is what being gay is. I have a lot to tell you.
Well, so I mean, that was episode 2. We decided after a 2-hour episode, we do a 1 hour, which is really more of a 44-minute one.
Yeah.
We got to see a really good Kidman and Tajiri match. We got to see a Bob Holly Val Venus match we didn't pay attention to. And we got to see all 2 minutes of a bra and panties match for the women's title. That I appreciate you pointing out the fact that you were like, hey, just so you know, we're 38 minutes to a 44-minute show, and the women's match hasn't even started yet.
We're still watching Hulk Hogan beat up Vince McMahon.
Yeah, we're still watching Hogan like whip Vince McMahon, and then the Undertaker showed up to hit him a bunch of times too.
Oh Christ! What a great time.
Yeah, we all had fun.
We did have fun, guys. Anybody listening to this, hopefully you guys watched a little bit of Velocity with us too. Let me know what you guys think. I think we can all agree. Tajiri versus Billy Kidman, match of the year.
That was the highlight. That was the highlight of this entire really 2 episodes we did.
That was a real surprise. I was really happy with that one. So
yeah, they gave him time. They wrestled in a logical way. It's fantastic.
A lot of fun, man. If anybody has any suggestions for stuff you want to see us watch, I think we might just, haphazardly go through Velocity and In Your House. But if you want to watch along any other videos with us, let us know.
Yeah.
And check out all our other videos and shit too, etc. I'm really good at plugging my own shit.
Yeah, you're fantastic. You didn't have to pay $10 to have Dan House do it for you.
It's a lot more than $10. Oh goodness! I mean, I could still get him to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Who doesn't love money? All right, I think that's enough for right now. We'll see you guys later. Have fun. This show still doesn't have a name, by the way.
We'll come up with one next week. I promise.
Maybe.
No, we're not gonna.
No, doubtful.
Well, yeah.
What we call it, that Starbucks commercial? It's juicy. We'll call it It's Juicy.
Yeah. Or Stacey Keebler's ass, because then everybody would watch the show.
Oh no, it's worse.
But Stacey Keebler's ass is really juicy. You see what I did? I feel bad just saying that phrase. It doesn't sound right.
Well, the fact that she made her entrance and then an advertisement for forcible entry came up.
I mean, that's hard to ignore. Really.
Maybe that's what we should call our show, is Forcible Entry. Oh no. Okay, now it's really time to go.
I think you've done it. All right. Tune in next time for some more Forcible Entry.